am not a person who Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Spencer'sSOULset. Today I want to talk to you about the unconscious mind. So basically, the mind in the dream state is what I'm here to talk about today. I've just been having a lot of really interesting dreams. I am not a person who I've ever been able to really remember my dreams. I've had very interesting dreams along the years. I remember that part of it. I just wake up and I lose all recollection of it. I just dream and I remember thinking, like, I have these little fragments of what the dream was, and I'm just like, wow, what did that mean? But I can never put it together because I can never remember the key points of it. Um, just to throw it out there, a little story from my past when I was younger. I remember being on a vacation when I was younger with my family. We were up at a resort of some kind, and I remember being in a cabin. They were out doing other things, and for some reason I was inside and I was watching some type of soap opera that was on TV. And this soap opera was basically revolved around a group of office coworkers, and one of the coworkers in the office was a man that was dressed up as a woman because it was like an all-woman office, and he was actually out for revenge of one of the women in the office. He was trying to get back at her for breaking up with him or some kind of treacherous thing that she did. You know how soap operas are. So anyways, he dresses up in drag as a woman and joins this office pool. So he ends up starting to stalk this poor woman and just stalks her around her whole life, follows her everywhere, and follows her family and her coworkers and every little step that she makes. There's a point in the episode where he follows her and some coworkers out to the movies. And he is in the way top row of the movie theater, and they're kind of in the middle of the theater. And he's still in drag. And he is just watching her, and just, it has this voiceover of all these evil, horrible thoughts that he's going to do to this coworker. It goes into this montage of, this man dressed in drag choking her and doing all these crazy, awful things to her, because he's furious with her and wants to get back at her for something that she did wrong in his mind. So for me, I'm just like, I thought, well, that's crazy when I was watching it. But then the crazy part of it all was when I went to sleep that night, I began to have a recurring nightmare about this man in drag coming after me and chasing me in anything that I did. Like, so if I was in the dream, if I was at school, he's chasing me around school. He's in my home, he's chasing me at the park playing. He's doing anything that I'm doing that a normal kid would be doing in his life. He's chasing me around and trying to come after me and torture me and chase me and stalk me. And it literally freaked me out. And still kind of freaks me out because I still have this dream every now and then to this day that this person out there dressed in drag is out there to stalk me. And I mean, it's just the craziest, silliest thing, but it is so scary. And that is the one dream that I've always remembered and always had in the back of my head, because it's just something I've grown up with and had for years. I didn't really ever share it with too many people, but I just thought it was a good thing to share in this instance, is us talking about the mind and how powerful it is in the dream state. I'm a person that's a big believer in astrology and the planets and how everything aligns in the universe and all that. So for me, when I remember a dream, or I have a dream that's really vivid for me, if I wake up knowing I had a vivid dream and I can't remember enough of it to know what it meant, or even if I remember it but I don't know what it meant and I don't have an answer, that bothers me. Because I just need to know, how does this pertain to my life, my daily life, my life in actual physical existence? what does this mean? What does this represent for me? And sometimes I have dreams that are very obvious, and other times I have dreams that I know were pointless, and I know they had no business being in my unconscious, but they all are for a reason, and I believe everything in life happens for a reason. So when I can connect a dream to a really important part of my life, that can kind of guide me through something that might be kind of difficult to go through or difficult to understand, it really helps me. So lately I've been having dreams that relate a lot to the things that are actually going on in my life, which hasn't happened to me in a very long time. They've been, some of them have been important dreams, but they haven't related directly to what is happening in my life at this very moment. So as of right now, that is what's happening. And it's just interesting to me to kind of look at that and at the people that I reach out to these days, the people that I talk to, the people that I try to get to reach out to me that don't reach back. And, what I think that means in my daily life, and then what my dreams, what my unconscious tells me that means. And a lot of times, the answer is that these people or these situations in your life, they do mean something, and they did come into your world for something, but it's teaching me that I have to learn to have a little bit more patience and understanding, and just not worry so much about why certain people aren't reaching out to you, why certain things aren't happening, certain projects that you wanted to get off the ground, why they're not working out to their full potential. I'm very much a project person creatively, so I'll start a bunch of different things, and I'll stop doing them halfway through and kind of lose interest, and then I'll have some kind of dream about that project coming to fruition, or so I'll kind of get to see what a possible outcome could be, and that can kind of tell me, okay, yes, this is right for you, or this isn't right for you. You shouldn't continue this, or you should. It's very important, but here's a new way that you need to go about it. And as far as people, when they come into play, into the dreams, it really is, again, it's just telling me about patience with that. Don't worry so much about why someone isn't in your life, but they were at a moment. That's something that I worry about a lot, especially when I feel like I connect with a certain person, whether it be a really close friendship or something more. It bothers me that I don't have the answers as to why, and sometimes I get angry because I'm like, why am I dreaming about this specific person or these specific people maybe, when I don't want to think about them? A lot of times the dream has the opposite reality of actual reality. It will take someone that has been kind of ugly in my life and not a great fit, and it'll paint them in this light of being this really good person, a really amazing person. And I'll wonder, like, does this mean I have to give them a second chance? What does this dream mean? What's the significance of it? And then when it does the opposite, when it paints a good person in a bad light, it makes me think, do I have to start looking for their bad side? Just because I haven't seen it, do I have to start seeing every part of them? Or does any of it really matter? Is this just to entertain my mind till I wake up? I mean, what is going on? I know there's people out there that, like me, that really need to know what's happening in their dreams and what the significance of it is. There are others of you out there that could give two shits, basically. You don't really care what's going on in the dream. You just want to have a good sleep and wake up and feel refreshed, and don't we all? But for me, that really never happens. I barely get enough sleep as it is. I'll go on a few hours of sleep and have these really crazy dreams and wake up and not really have time to process it, which is something else that kind of bugs me. Those times when you have really long sleeps and you sleep in for a long period of time and you have these extended dreams that have a whole life, that have a whole beginning, middle, and end, that don't really cut off or not give you an answer in the end, those are really exciting. Those really mean something. because they were several hours of your unconscious mind, and they're telling a story that leads to something, and gives you a resolution in the end. And then to wake up and kind of go over that and think about, how does this relate to me? How does this relate to my life? I mean, I wonder, how many of you out there have had that same experience and have just thought, like, why did I just dream about my grandma who's been gone for 10 years? Or, or my dog who I loved growing up that passed away? Or, it doesn't always have to be something dramatic, but, why did I dream about this for so long? Your dreams can come with so many uncoded messages and things left unsaid, but I think in the end, it's a way for you to see sides of yourself that you can't express in daily life, in the conscious life. You have to be unconscious, and you have to see things in a different way, and the only way that the universe can get you to see that is through dreaming, is through sleep. And they're very powerful, and they're not to be taken lightly. I think everyone needs to really try their hardest to understand dreams. So I have a challenge for all of you. I think as we've been talking about dreams and their powerful states and what they can mean to all of us, this is something that I do as part of just my daily journal writing, but I encourage all of you to start kind of a dream journal. If you want to start a small dream journal, and just for the next week, if you just want to write down all of the dreams that you have, that you can remember in vivid detail, and just kind of tell me the details of them and what they all mean, I would be happy to kind of make videos and go back and forth and kind of hear what all these dreams were and try and decipher them as best I can. Now, I want you all to know that I'm not a licensed therapist or guru or dream guru of anything. This would just be my own personal opinion of things, but I think it'd be kind of a fun thing. I've always, wanted someone else's opinions on my dreams and on my unconscious mind thoughts and all of that. So if that's something you're interested in doing, go ahead and start a dream journal for the next week. And then when we meet back here the next Saturday, at the end of the show, I will go ahead and answer one or two of the dream questions. I'm hoping that, what I have to tell you will be kind of insightful, and it'll matter to you what I have to say. And I love to be able to be there and help people, like I said from the beginning of all this. So I really do mean that. So another thing I have to tell you guys about is I did have a very good, close, basically surrogate family member friend of mine tell me, comment with me on something on my first episode that she thought I could do to improve it, which I am always welcoming, and I thought it was a really awesome idea, so I am going to start it. I'm going to call it Spencer's Inbox, and this is just a general thing for feedback, something that you have going on that you want advice about in your life, in your daily life. It can be a silly thing, it can be something really serious, it can be kind of in between, it doesn't matter to me. But if you're interested in hearing my opinion on something that is going on in your life, and you kind of want my advice on something, you kind of want my help on something, I'd love to be there for you and love to help you through it in whatever way I can. Whether that's, Spencer, figure out a way to make me laugh, Spencer, I really need you to just kind of pick this apart and tell me what's going on, I'm happy to try my hardest to do the best I can do that for you. If one person wants to throw a few little things out there so I have some things to chew on, that's great. I will pick, one or two of the best that I think I have on there, and I will work my hardest to respond to those and decipher those for you. So again, that's Spencer's Inbox. That's going to start at the end of every episode of Spencer'sSOULset, starting on episode 3 coming up. So I'm really excited about that. And until then, you guys, I love you all. Make sure to spread the love, and I'll see you on the next episode of Spencer'sSOULset.